I always start early, that way I don't have to do it all at once at the end of the year. Picking up, and I only got maybe 4 or 5 loads of manure left, and I want to get it down before it rains so it'll beat that manure into the ground, and then I can get this all greened up and growing well so I can get the animals out here. To me that besides my wife and kids and I have 100 mouths to feed. Let's take a look and see what all those mouths belong to. We'll start with the easy ones first. There's actually 3, but I think somebody stole her because I don't see her very much, and I think she only comes around when she escapes from the neighbor, who I'm pretty sure stole my cat. 2 dogs. Sit. Do you want puppy food? There are some folks out there who they don't like the Cornish cross. They think that it's inhumane to grow birds like that. They're only supposed to be around for 7 or 8 weeks, and with modern agriculture, it's all about doing more with less, which I guess is the slogan that everybody uses these days. But with the price of grain, labor, fuel, these birds right here are the best bang for your buck. I've had Rainbow Rangers, Freedom Rangers, Texas Rangers, the Lone Ranger. Those birds just aren't any good. Americans, we like white breast meat. We don't necessarily like dark leg meat. So these birds right here, that's what they're bred for. And when you get into these designer birds, you end up getting a lot of dark meat in the legs, and that's because they're pastured, so they're using their legs and building leg muscles. And they taste kind of gamey, they're tough, and there's not really a lot of breast meat. So when you figure that you have to raise those Rangers 2 to 3 times as long as these birds, you have 3 times the feed, 3 times the labor, they cost more to buy, and then you end up with less. So I don't understand the principle behind it. I'm all about getting these birds in and out in 7 weeks, and that's what these birds are, 7 weeks. Now here's the thing about pastured poultry too, is that you've got a lot of expense in labor to set up your fencing, the fencing itself, and then that fence has to be moved all the time, or you have to build some sort of chicken tractor that you move. And what my experience has been is that it takes a lot of time and energy to do all that moving around. And then you still have the chickens that ball up near the wheels, so you're dragging chickens, and sometimes you run them over accidentally. And so you've got a lot of labor and material expense. And to be honest with you, what my experience with this has shown is that you're really only saving about 10% on feed, and that's more than that lost in labor and what you spend on equipment. So I'm all about confining the birds for 7 weeks. Now, when we start talking about laying hens, that's a totally different story. But as far as meat birds go, putting all those chicken tractors, and you see them, going across the field, I'm not really into that too much. It's really doesn't justify the cost. That's not to say that there aren't good points about it, because number one, yes, you are fertilizing, you're breaking down the cow patties, the chickens are eating ticks and bugs, and they're probably happier. But farming for the most part is a business, and you have to look at it that way. And while I treat my animals kindly and humanely, as far as the meat birds go, I don't find that that's very cost effective. Now, these are my experiments, and I welcome everybody to do their own experiments and then weigh in. I know it looks good. You see a lot of the YouTube videos with the chicken tractors all moving across the fields, and people like to see the green pastures with the birds out there, but the reality of it is it's not really cost effective or time effective, particularly if you have fields like mine where they're full of rocks. And with those Premier 1 fencings, you always have to keep the bottom of the fence weed whacked, and so you get the added expense of mowing along the bottom. Now, some people don't even plug the Premier 1 fencing in, and it mostly holds the birds in. Sometimes they'll get underneath, but they won't go too far, no. But the whole purpose of that Premier 1 fence, number one, is to keep the animals in and the predators out. So if the fence isn't electrified, it really doesn't do much to deter the predators, as particularly if you have them in an open field, and then you've got a big area with a fence all around it, and then you've got an area susceptible to hawks, because hawks and turkey vultures love to come down and prey on your birds. Foxes, raccoons, weasels, all of those things are going to get in there and start cutting into your bird population. And with what I've also found too is they don't go after the tiny ones. They go after the ones that are you've got a lot of time and money into, because those are the tasty ones, right? So you only have to lose a couple birds to have it really not worth your while anymore. But when we start talking about laying hens, that's a whole different story. And I put mine out now that I think the threat of the bird flu is mostly gone by. I wait until near the end of the day, now that it's mid-May. So around 5 o'clock, I put them out. And that way they've already laid all their eggs for the day, and I'm not running around the farm trying to play, hide and go seek, find the Easter eggs. They've mostly laid their eggs. They come outside and they peck and scratch and go tear through the manure pile and work that over pretty well. And then 3 hours later, actually they're in by 7:30. They mostly just put themselves to bed. And so all you have to do is go in and close the door behind them. And that works out pretty well. And I've found that, as far as eggs go, free-range chicken eggs, they tend to, taste a little bit better. So don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to pick on all the regenerative, sustainable farmers out there who have their YouTube channels and are promoting all these things. It's great, and I think, the public likes to see stuff like that with farming. But if you're doing it for a business to make money, to be sustainable in the terms of I can still afford to raise chickens next year, I think my way is the way that most people do it. And if you look at a lot of the small homesteaders, the small farmers, you'll find that their meat birds are confined for 7 weeks. You certainly don't need roosters. I found that if you are pasturing your poultry or free-ranging your birds, a couple roosters out there, they keep watch on the rest of the flock, and they sound out a warning if there's a problem, and they tend to take care of the birds pretty well. That's if you get a good one, and generally the roosters will do their job. And so it's worth keeping a rooster or two around if you do pasture your poultry. The next thing we're going to do is go put the cows and sheep down here on new pasture. I have to take a little bit of a gamble that they're going to follow me and not head back to the barn. I'm pretty sure they will. Henry. Hey, come on. Luna. Violet. Luna. Come here. Come here. I was pretty sure they'd follow me. Come on. Let's go. I tricked them. Come on, Violet. Let's go. Close this gate. Come on, fellas. Come on. That's one way to get over here. Check this out, boys. Brand new gate. Come on. Go ahead. Check it out. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Where you guys going? Where y'all going? There's all kinds of food down here for you. I'm gonna have to come back and cram a fence post in right here, because they've bent this all out. They do this every year. They test all the fences and they find new spots, break down more spots. You put them down there, they'll go there for a few minutes and then they just feel like they need to come back up to the sheep barn there. Looks like you guys got yourself in a jam now. If I was you, I'd just go back from whence you came and go right back over that fence. The grass is down there on the right. There's nothing up here. You guys are on the wrong side of the tracks, my friends. In some ways, sheep are like goats. If they can get their face through it, they'll be out. Well, I reckon I'll go in and get something to eat for lunch. I've missed my lunch so far. Now I'll come back out and they'll probably be out. And then we'll go down and fix that spot down there. Well, so much for lunch break. Looks like the grain truck's here. Did you make some bad decisions? Is that what's happened? Let's get you out of there. How'd you manage this? You all right? Did you hurt yourself? Guess not. Well, I can see what happened here. Somehow this fence is all down. Beautiful day. It's been like 71 degrees, no humidity. You can be out in a t-shirt, no flies really because it's been a nice breeze. And we had a nice couple of days where we had some rain, maybe an inch or so, which was good because even with all the rain we got this spring, it dried up really quickly. So everything's greened up really nice and everything's looking really good. And just really happy that we got that rain to kind of green everything up and pop all the flowers. Well, I guess that's it for today. Never underestimate the wiliness of animals to figure out a way to get out, because remember, they've got nothing else to do all day besides walk up and down the fence line looking for a weak spot. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching.